Hey everybody, I'm here today with Amy Turner, who is the executive,
Director.
tell me your
Director.
director, the executive director of the Sally J. Pimental Deaf and Hard of Hearing Center. This is an organization that is very near and dear to my heart. I've been taking sign language classes for Amy, I don't even know how long. It's like
Couple
6 or 7.
years.
Yeah. And so I know everyone there, and I thought this would be for my first event that I'm holding. This would be a really good place to contribute and donate to because they do a lot of really wonderful things for services for the deaf community in Lee County. Is that Lee County or is it?
We actually serve 5 counties, but the majority of what we do is in Lee County.
Okay. So Amy, tell me about like what are some of the most impactful programs at DHHC?
Well, hands down, the most impactful program that we provide here is interpreting services. We provide interpreting services so that deaf individuals can have communication access with their doctors, with the legal system, with
Mhm.
schools, with finance, accounting, their accountants, you name it, anything that a hearing person can go and do for services that requires communication, especially one-on-one or in a group, or even in a theater. We provide interpreting services so deaf people can participate fully in society.
Okay, and tell me a little bit more about interpreting for their doctors. I heard a couple of stories when I was in class about how important it is for a deaf person, even though maybe they could lip read, to really have an interpreter for that for a doctor's visit.
Yeah. Well, most deaf individuals do not know how to lip read. It's
Mm,
something that only just a handful of deaf individuals that have spent years learning that skill are able to do that. But for the most part, deaf individuals cannot lip read, which means that they also do not know English because ASL is their first language. So it's a visual language. So you and I may understand that the spelling SHIRT spells the word shirt, so we can read that in English and understand that SHIRT, that's shirt. But a deaf individual only knows that when you do this, this means shirt.
mhm,
So when imagine if you are in a doctor's office and getting a diagnosis for something, you need to be able to understand everything that that doctor is saying. You need to understand exactly what it means and what the next step is. And that's not something that can be done if they're not speaking or using your language. So it needs to they need to have an interpreter in that room to be able to take the English language and translate it into sign language.
mhm. Interesting. And ASL is different than signing in English.
Yes, signing exact English is much different, and that is not most deaf people. They do not use signing exact English. That's where you would say, you would sign exactly, I am going to the store. But
Right.
when you use sign language, you say, store, I go.
Hmm.
Much simpler. It is a very rich and vibrant language. So there's a lot of dialogue that can be used in sign language, but for the most part, all the little words have been taken out. So
Hmm.
we just had this training with the Cape Coral Police Department, and we were letting them know that when you stop an individual and you see that they're deaf from their license, and you want to write back and forth what you stopped them for, don't write, I stopped you for going through a stop sign, or I stopped you because you were speeding.
Hmm.
Just write going too fast.
Hmm.
That's it. So something very simple, so it's easy so that those each individual main words can be picked up and understood.
Very interesting. So you
Yeah.
mentioned training the police service, and how did that go?
It was fabulous. That is something that we are so proud of with this agency, what we're being able to do. We have been able to go out into the community just this past year alone, and we've trained over 620 individuals, including most first responders in our area, which includes all of the Cape Coral Police Department, all of the City of Fort Myers Fire Department, and we've been training lots of the Lee County Sheriff as well as the City of Fort Myers Police Department. And what we're training them is how to interact with a deaf person. So when you are, specifically each agency is different. So when a first responder, like a fireman, comes on scene, they need to learn how to identify if this person is doing this, they're saying
Mhm.
I'm deaf. They just need to know that they're not just pointing to their ear and their mouth for
Right,
no
right,
reason.
right,
They need to know. And
yeah.
now they're able to quickly assess situations and say, are you hurt? Something like, or, are you hurt? There's a lot of things that they've been learning with body parts and how to gesture back and forth, which means that if they help a hearing person providing these critical public services, now they're able to help a deaf individual as well. And that means so much to the deaf community. And it's very important and it's required by law. So again, we've been tailoring all of our presentations to fit those particular agencies.
Mhm. So tell me a little bit about also, that's so important, the kids and the kids groups. What are you
Yes,
doing?
that is something that we are just so excited about. We have a deaf youth program that meets after school, and it's something that it's without this, we just can't imagine what deaf children would be doing. And I mean that because if you have a hearing child who can attend summer camp, they can go to summer camp and enjoy themselves with their friends and counselors in a mentor role model situation. But if a deaf child attends that same summer camp, tell me, will all the counselors know sign language? Will all the students know sign language? Because if they do not, that child is going to be isolated. They're going to be isolated during games. They're going to be isolated during crafts and activities and learning time. And that's something that is devastating when you hear that a deaf child would have to experience something like that. So
Right.
we offer an after-school youth program where we take our van and we go to the different schools that have a deaf program. We pick up kids, we bring them here to our center, and they get to experience homework help in their own language using sign language. We play games, we have activities, we have field trips, and we also really are very excited about the fact that we provide independent living skills training and workforce training to help them prepare for their, career they're going to be choosing. And
Sure,
again,
sure.
all of it's done in sign language and all of it's done by professional role models who are providing these services um, in a very, very positive way to empower these students to take on the world and know they can do anything and accomplish what they want to in their life, and that deafness is not going to be something that will hold them back.
Well, I am just so proud to partner with you this year. Um, and, uh, and thank you for opening up the center for us to have this event. It's going to be just a real fun time. It's going to be November 25th between 4 and 6. I hope to see you all there. And Amy, thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having me. We're so excited. We cannot wait.
Okay, take
Thanks.
care.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.